They were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Set. Blue landing. Blue landing.
They'll set up to throw. Shakes up, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now here's Michael Dixon, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Fielded at the 33. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. Blue landing.
Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
All right, here we go.
And here's Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. This offense can be flashy at times, and a big reason for that is Perryman.
I like the way you use the word big, because that's exactly what Rashad Perryman is. A big receiver with a ton of speed. Runs so well, yet that strength downfield really confounds defensive backs. Is it okay if I tell you I played against his dad in college?
Well, I'm just impressed that you worked confounds into the broadcast.
I'm impressed I'm still alive because I played against his dad in college.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
This is Marshall. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
So on the big tight end,
Still first down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jackson now off the bootleg, sliding out of the pocket. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Got an open man. It's Radley. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now let's go. Blue, line it.
Now Marshall. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll run it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Jackson now. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now Jackson on second down. Escaping the pressure right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it 2 deep? Is it 3 deep? Because then you know where the linebackers are going to drop, what spots on the field they naturally get to, and you find that open space, and then you're in sync with your quarterback. He should be reading the exact same thing, and they put the ball right on you.
On third down, that's Marshall. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on third down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, third down conversions. So they got one there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. The Ravens on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Jackson. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Green 39.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Back to throw here. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. Bailey able to knock it through. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. The return man, Chris Moore. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way, but there is laundry on the field. A flag is down, and I think this one's coming back.
I agree.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
Automatic first down.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They go play action with Jackson. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
The Ravens on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey. Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now let's go. Blue landing.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Watch him now, Barney.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And that is incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on first down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
To throw again, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right
Let's
now.
go. 319. 319. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Here's Johnson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
McCaffrey on the counter, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's go. Blue line it.
They'll set up a throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now running right through it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards it. That little arm.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He lets it fly, and this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35.
And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go!
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And he's not even going to come close to picking up the first. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It was Eric Reed in on the stop. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 38.
All right, here we go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Incomplete. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Very quickly here, and that's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The
those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Hurry up, here we go. 3 and 8.
Third down, here's McCaffrey. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon standing just outside his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. There goes a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
3-19. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson eluding the pressure right, and it's incomplete. So we come upon halftime with a tie. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. Moore now to return. Pushing through the contact. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the 2nd half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
They'll run with Marshall. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing right, and that's complete. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here.
Now let's go! 3-19!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! All right, now, lucky 56! Lucky 56!
On 2nd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Brashad Perriman, and it's 3rd down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game. They had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now. 3-19.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And this is going to be incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
And that's the way to start a drive, and that's the way to continue a drive. Back-to-back, nice chunk plays. And if you're the offensive coordinator in your chess match with the defensive guy, you're thinking maybe you put him in a spot where he's got to load up against the run, because that last one was a really nice play. What are you going to do now? Do you go ahead and play into it, continue to run the ball, play action, try and hit him over the top? You've got to feel like you have the advantage.
He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Hey. All right, here we go. Green, 30.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson to throw on 3rd down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can. And it's such a...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to fourth down.
Their coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
On second down, here's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now it's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
How many times do we hear that third down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the first down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key first down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Back now in Baltimore. 13 all our score as we start quarter number 4. Now Jackson on second down. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that is incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson. He's going to look deep for Perriman. He's got him in. Complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 41 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll go down at the 28. And 5 yards on the play there. It's a drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Going for it all. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
On third down, Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
To throw on second down, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have broken the tie. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. He spins free. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Shaw. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. He's going to air one out, and that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick, and it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They're going to look to throw. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And the Ravens have got it. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
All right, here we go.
Right back to him on first down. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete here, so a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
clocks it with just over 30 seconds left.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run up a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Ravens, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.